Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG Build Guide Edition. Today I am ready to drop on you my updated shield throw Smiter. He's gone through a lot of changes but still as strong as ever. As always, everything is timestamped in the description below. Today we're going to check out gameplay, training dummy, skills, passives, gear, and of course break down the character sheet. Let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Starting off with some gameplay. Now the skills I'm going to be using are Shield Rush, Sigils of Hope, Holy Aura, Abyssal Echoes, Shield Throw, and Smite. Now Smite isn't on my active bar because it's auto-triggered by Shield Throw, so instead we throw on Shield Rush, which is one of my favorite skills. Let's go. And by the way, you should always start by putting on your Sigil. Alright, that's better. Oh, you get to see some new enemies as well. Come and get me. Obviously, this is a run level 100. I guess I don't really get to showcase it, but the movement skills on here is great as well. Come on. Now you'll notice that I haven't used sigils since the beginning, yet we still have 3 up, because every time you kill an enemy, there's a 6% chance that it'll trigger back. Kill enough enemies fast enough, normally you can keep max stack. Build's really strong, and you are very tough. Huh? That's gotta be close to done. Come on. Come get me, Beetle. The Scarab. Nobody else? Let me show you how to recreate this build. So let's take a look at the skills, and the first skill we're gonna check out is Shield Throw. I'll give you a quick second if you want to screenshot it. Okay, moving on. So this is the way you want to go. First thing you want to take is you want Shield Throw to be free. You want to go right down here. Polished Steel, Focused Campaign, and Shield Barrage. Once you're done there, then you want to come this way. 1 into Ricochet, 1 into Eruption, 1 into Molten Shield, 5 into Magma Rage, and 2 into Forceful Breaking. Then your last 3, you go right here, and you go into Armored, which just gives you boosted armor when you use Shield Throw. Now this skill's really interesting because Shield Throw as itself is good enough to clear trash, okay? But it's not going to be your main damage dealer. It's going to be Smite, which is triggered by Shield Throw, okay? But the big affixes you are looking for are going to be, where are you? Right here. Spell, Fire, and Attunement. Spell, Fire, and Attunement. And what Shield Throw does is it creates Lava Burst. And Lava Burst is different than Shield Throw because it scales with Spell, Fire, and Attunement, okay? So even though the base Shield Throw is not really helping you, what it is doing is making Lava Burst, which is then causing a lot more damage. Okay? Smite, your main damage dealer. I will give you a second to screenshot it. Okay, moving on. Now, Smite does a whole lot of damage, especially when it's buffed with all your other stuff. And in here, this tree has changed. You want to put 2 into Blinding Flash, 5 into Sacrifice, 4 into Atonement, 4 into Deep Impact, and 4 into Conviction. Now, what this part of the tree does is boost your damage, but every time you use Smite, it takes a little bit of your life. And you can kind of counteract this a little bit through atonement. Sacrifice is going to take 15% of your life every time Smite drops, but you could drop that by 80% right here. Okay? And if you're really having problems with survivability, you can axe 1 point from conviction and then put 5 into atonement. But I like the added damage, and I don't struggle with survivability. Okay, moving on to Holy Aura. Give you a second to screenshot it. Moving on. Huge damage dealer and helps you with all your crits. You want 3 into Ryan's Devotion, 2 into Raya's Fury, 5 into Burning Blows, 2 into Fanaticism, 4 into True Strike, 3 into Extreme Zeal, and 1 into Shelter from the Store. This is always on. You don't have to do anything, but then when you make it active, it's going to give you a big boost to damage and survivability. Okay? Sigils of Hope. This is like my staple for almost any Sentinel build. Such a good skill. Give you a second to screenshot it. And moving on. You want 5 into Empowering Sigils. 1 into Last Wish. This is where if you kill someone, there's a 6% chance that it'll auto-cast. 3 into Decree of the Flame. 5 into Iron Sigils, 5 into Enduring Hope, so they last longer. 1 into Tetragram, this is so you can have an extra one, and 1 into Meditation. Sigils will double your health regen for that 1 point. Again, really good skill. And the newcomer, you're probably thinking, what in the world is he thinking? Abyssal Echoes from the Void Knight tree. Now, what's happened with 0.8 is you can no longer use Ring of Shields. It's not possible. It's locked. You can't use it on a Paladin, okay? And that's okay, because we have something else. Abyssal Echoes, believe it or not. Watch this. Throw up our 4 sigils. You can get its damage per second up to 23,000. And it doesn't have a cooldown if you spec it correctly. So now you've got your own kind of ring you can use around you when you're surrounded. And it's kind of hard to showcase. It will heal you every single time you use it. It's almost like having an endless potion. Every time you use it, it will heal you back up. It's a pretty good skill. And it took me a very long time. I shouldn't say a very long time. It took me all night to figure out this last skill because I was going through everything trying to see what was going to take the place of Ring of Shields. And I was literally going skill by to check Shield Bash. I checked maybe I'll just spec into Shield Rush. Judgment. No. Ended up on Abyssal Echoes. Okay? And now let me explain why. I'll give you a second. You screenshot it. And moving on. This tree in Abyssal Echoes, I'll just go through it. 5 into Deep Expanse, 1 into Vortal Explosion, 1 into Fury Chasm, 1 into Potent Corruption, 1 into Void Purifier, and 1 into Heavenly Gift. Heavenly Gift makes it where it no longer scales with Vitality, but it scales with Attunement. What is the skill based around? Attunement. Void Purifier changes this skill from Void to Fire. What does this build based on? Fire. And what is this skill already? Spell. So now you've taken a Void spell Vitality skill and turned it into a Fire spell Attunement, which is literally what you are scaling through your gear. So it works perfectly. Does it do a whole lot of damage? No. Does it clear trash well? Yes. And you want to go this way as well. Vorpal, 2 into Rippling Corrosion, 2 into Tides of Rust, and 1 into Time Compression. This makes it where there's no cooldown. It is also going to shred. Okay? So, no cooldown, shred enemies' armor, do decent damage, and through increased healing per attunement, it is going to heal you every time you use it. It actually works really well with the build. Those are the skills. Moving on to passives. Now, right now my character is level 87, so you could get an additional 13 points here, and I will tell you where to put them. Base class Sentinel. I'll tell you where to put him at the end. 8 into Fearless, 5 into Gladiator, 5 into AOR, 5 into Armor Clad, 2 into Relentless, and you need all this to jump all the way here to the corner. Mail Crusher. Since we are using a Scepter, which you will see, you will get an increase of 120% damage. Forge Guard. 5 into Steel, so it'll give you shield throw. Void Knight. 10 in Devouring Blade. This will give you 100% increased damage if you have killed recently, and this is how you unlock Abyssal Echoes. And then 49 points into Paladin. 8 into Defiance, 5 into Honor, 6 into Holy Symbol, 10 into Heaven Fire, 2 into Blinding Light, 8 into Sanctuary Guardian, 1 into Shield Wall, and then these 2 right here is where you finish. 5 into Reverence of Duality, and 4 into Light of Raya. Now, you can pick which one you want when it goes here. It's personal preference. I'm just kind of clicking one, then the other, one, then the other. But you can do whatever you want. One is going to increase your damage and movement speed. The other one is going to increase your damage less, but give you more survivability. So, I like being able to run fast. But that's your personal preference. If my character was level 100, I would literally just keep going back and forth right here at the end. Moving on to everybody's favorite gear, starting with idols. Now, there are 2 required items you need for this build. One is this idol. 9% chance to cast Smite when you hit with a throwing attack. This is how you are able to cast Smite while using shield throw. And I have 3 of them. This one's 9, this one's 9, this one's 7. Technically, you could put a 4th one right here. I don't feel it's needed, but if you feel like you're not triggering Smite enough, you could throw on a 4th one, okay? My other idols, fire damage, Smite and fire damage, block effectiveness, and Smite damage. You gotta find these idols. And if you're saying, Aaron, how could I build this if I don't have those idols? No problem. Just put Smite on your active bar and just trigger it manually until you get these. Okay. The other item that is required is a Scepter. And why? Because I showed you right here, you get 120% increased damage if you use a Scepter. And I highly recommend this Scepter because it can drop as high as 65% adaptive spell damage, which gives you a huge boost to damage. Okay. I will now fairly quickly go through the items. Helmet. Amulet. Shield. Armor, weapon, ring, belt, ring, relic, boots, and gloves. Last but not least, we're going to check out the character sheet and hang out at the training dummy. And I'm going to show you all my base stats and then what it looks like when they're all boosted up. Right now I have 51 points into attunement, 9 into vitality. Movement speed is up to a beastly 41%. My resistances are okay. Fire 81, lightning 57, cold 54, physical 77, poison 39, necrotic 61, void 34. Actually, they're not very good. But what saves you with this build is block. Block right now is at 55%. Block effectiveness is at 3444, which is 65%. Almost 3,500 points are into block effectiveness. Armor's at 39. When you look at, actually, we'll just stick with defense. Endurance 52, endurance threshold 275, critical strike avoidance 97. Now, when you look at damage, spell crit chance 9%, crit multiplier 237. Then down over here, you got fire at 768. Okay. So let's give this a little boost for sigils. Okay. Now our fire's up to 888, and our armor is boosted up to 49%. But we are not done, because watch the training dummy. See that? 78,000. Now look at our armor. 62%. 62. Because every time you throw shield throw and hit an enemy, it boosts your armor. Then of course boosts your survivability. Okay, and let me just show you damage numbers again. I've got it to crit over 100,000 before. $80. Was that 129?
Yeah.
Not gonna happen. It's okay. You saw it crit into the 80s. I thought I saw it might have been 13,000. It does plenty of damage. I've killed every single boss in the game with this build. And now you've got your little... You've got your new added skill. It is very hard to die with this. You would have to be not paying attention. All right, everyone, that's the build guide. Shield, throw, smiter. What do you think? What can I do to push this to the next level? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm sure you've heard by now that I have officially started a Twitch, streaming 4 times a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Having so much fun. First link in the description below. If you haven't joined the official Action RPG Discord, please do so. We're now over 1,100 members, great conversations every day. The idea is to create a gaming community that can jump from game to game together so you never start the server alone. Link for that Discord is in the description. By the way, the advanced loot filter for this build is also in the description. Hopefully you were entertained or at least learned something. Aaron, out.